So before we start today's lesson, it seemed like there were some issues yesterday with solving systems of equations. So we're going to start here today. Solve this system of equations. Hope you got that as an answer. Now solve this system of equations. And there's the answer. If you did not get that and you need help, please make sure that you contact me today through Google Hangouts. Today's lesson is factoring. So now we're going to take the next step after doing those diamond problems. We're going to start with a really easy problem. We're going to factor this trinomial, and you'll notice that both of the signs are positive. So using your skills from yesterday, what we want to do first is find out what two numbers multiply together to get 15, and then add up to 8. And I know you're already thinking 3 and 5. I'm going to try to relate this to when we were doing the grouping problems the other day. If I have that 8x, I'm going to break that up into 3x plus 5x. That's where the 3 and the 5 come from. The 3 plus the 5 is going to give me the 8. So 3x plus 5x gives me 8x. Next, I'm going to group like I did before. I'm going to take those two and put them into parentheses. And now I'm going to look for the greatest common factor, just like the other day. Take out a factor of x. Take out the factor of 5 from this one. And I end up with x plus 3 times the quantity x plus 5. Now that's a lot of work for something that's pretty simple. So now take a look at this one. We're going to think about the diamond problems from yesterday. And you'll notice that this middle term is the sum, and this end term, the constant, is the product, just like in the diamonds. So we think, what two numbers will add up to 10, and the same two numbers will multiply to 21? Three plus 7 equals 10, and 3 times 7 equals 21. Now we're going to use the 3 and 7 as my factors. In place of the a and b, we're going to put in the 3 and the 7 to end up with this as the answer. Now I want you to try. First think. The middle term's the sum. The last term is the product, just like yesterday's diamonds. What two numbers add to 11, but when multiplied together give you 28? Four and 7 add up to 11, and 4 times 7 equals 28. Now we're going to use those in the factors, and my final answer, factored, is x plus 4 times the quantity x plus 7. How can you figure out whether or not you got the right answer? Just because there's a subtraction sign in there doesn't mean that there's anything different than what we've been doing. Again, what two numbers add together to get a negative 9? That when multiplied together give you a positive 20. You should have gotten this. A negative 4 times a negative 5 gives me a positive 20, and a negative 4 plus a negative 5 gives me a negative 9. Write them as factors. Hopefully, you got this as your answer. All right, new type of problem. What's different about this one than the ones we had before? You'll notice that this time we have the subtraction sign at the end, but that doesn't change what we're doing. Again, We're looking for two numbers that when you add them together, you get a 2, but when you multiply them, you get a negative 24. Now, for this to be a negative 24, you know that one of them has to be positive and one has to be negative. What two numbers will multiply to a negative 24, but when added will be a positive 2? Numbers should be 6 and negative 4. Now use the two numbers in your factors. And you have x plus 6 and x minus 4. You try. Again, remember, we're looking for two numbers that add up to a positive 5, and that when they multiply together, you get a negative 24. Now you use your two numbers in your factors. This is the end of the video for today, but I'm going to ask you to go into Google Classroom and do the practice problems, but I'd also like you to watch a video that I posted there. It's my favorite video for factoring. It's corny, it's silly, but I really like it.